Hey guys, it's your girl Bianca B, and so today I want to give you guys a little bit of advice on when it comes to interviewing celebrities, getting into the hosting industry, but I'm going to tell you the pros and cons. You know, my last video I just gave advice, but I'm going to really be real in this video and all the things that you go through as a host when you're interviewing people, when you're on red carpets, when you're in the studio, when you're doing one-on-one interviews. I'm going to give you all the tea. So if you want to find out more and what advice you can get from me, please continue watching. So, there's a lot of pros when it comes to interviewing people. You get to meet new people, you get to take pictures with celebrities, you get to go on red carpets, you get to do a lot of different things. And the pros is that you get a good interview, you get views, you get traffic to your site depending on who the artist is, the celebrity is, and what's current for them. So if I'm interviewing someone such as Blac Chyna and Rob Kardashian, they're current now, so my video may get a lot of views on that. For example, I interviewed Blue from Bad Girls Club, and I always reference this. I interviewed her during a time where the show was still going on, her fan base was amazing, and it was current. So it's always good to interview people who are current. A lot of times you're going to interview independent artists, people who are just coming up, and a lot of people don't know them, but it can bring a little bit of their fans or it cannot. So when it comes to the YouTube side and the views side, an interview honestly varies on who the person is. Now, I would get a lot of views if I interviewed someone that was like a YouTuber, like Mariana Hewitt or Carly Bell. Those people, since they're YouTubers and they're just really based on social media, they're going to get a lot of traffic because people are always looking at their videos, rather than someone who was, you know, on an old movie or an old show. They may not bring traffic to the site. So you have to understand one of the pros and cons of YouTube traffic and views to your website. It really just varies on the person, because you may get thousands of views on one interview and 100 views on another. So it only depends on who the person is, and if they shouted you out, if they retweet it, if they, you know, repost on Instagram. Those things matter. So understand that one of the cons when it comes to interview celebrities is that the celebrity may be so big that they may not retweet or repost your interview with them. So if I interview someone like Future, he already has publicity, he already is famous, so he may not retweet our interview. So you have to understand to not get in your feelings about things like that. Just when it comes to interviewing people, like I said, it just varies on who the person is and if they have a social media following, if they, you know, are famous or not. And it's those small details that can sometimes discourage you, because you're like, dang, I interviewed Future, but he didn't repost it, he didn't retweet it on Twitter. But understand that he's so famous, he doesn't care, you know, to be real. Also, what's another big pro and con? One of the pros is that you literally meet so many people. Like with interviewing celebrities, it has how can I say it? It has increased my following. So since I've interviewed celebrities, a lot of people are more engaged with my brand, because they're like, okay, she's with this person, she's this with person, and it looks like I'm this and that. And so understand that just because you take pictures with celebrities does not mean that you're famous. Just because I interview celebrities does not mean that my bank account speaks that, because it definitely doesn't. That I don't like when people think that. A lot of people think that I am very wealthy just because I've interviewed so many people and I started my own show, but I literally did that with nothing and my resources. So understand that the pros is that people on social media may think that you're living this lavish lifestyle, but you really can be broke, period. So just because I interview a lot of people, a lot of celebrities, and be in the same room as people does not mean that I am on that level as of yet. So I always want to make that mental note to people who want to get into hosting and into interviewing people, because majority of the time when you go to press events and you're media, you're not getting paid, period. Unless you work with a network such as E and you're on the clock and they're telling you to go here and there, they're probably paying you. But most likely you're not getting paid for just being on red carpets and interviewing people, because it's attention for you, and the only way you can really make money from hosting is if you're on a network and you're on a talk show, you have your own talk show, or you are getting paid from advertisement on your site and things like that. So places like the Shade Room, they're probably getting paid. I know they're getting paid for the traffic that they get on their website, and also through promotions and advertisements on their Instagram. So I understand as a host that you're just there to do your job and get traffic to your site, but there's no guarantee that you're going to get a check. There's no guarantee that you're going to get traffic to your site depending on who you're interviewing. So now I am at that level of where I'm very picky about who I interview, just because I don't like to, I wouldn't say waste my time, but waste my time. So I'm really picky about the interviews that I do, because when I was younger and 16, you know, I interviewed everybody. I had people on my site, whoever, it didn't matter. But now I'm getting to a level where this is my career. This is something that I do full time. You know, interviewing people and becoming a blogger is a full-time job for me. So if you're doing interviews with someone who isn't as big, that doesn't put money in your pocket. And you don't want to do things because of money. That's not what I'm saying. But when you get to a level of media, there's certain things you're going to do and certain things you're not going to do. So a lot of people have to understand when it comes to media that there's a lot of pros and cons to this. And oftentimes when you're having a, let's say, a gossip blog, there's so many gossip blogs out there, you have to do it the smart way by doing promotions. What else can I say? A pro of it is that it's fun. I love and enjoy what I do. I love interviewing people. I love interviewing celebrities and being in the same room with people. But the cons is that you come out a lot of your money. You have to get the equipment. You have to get all even the wardrobe. When you're a girl going out, getting clothes for certain events, getting your makeup done. I remember when I first started going to red carpets, I literally used to buy an outfit, had someone style me, always pay for makeup to come. But no, I had to learn how to do my makeup, I had to learn how to ball on a budget, and I had to learn how to switch clothes. So that's the biggest advice I can give to you, is like, don't come out of pocket for everything. You know, use your resources. That's something that I definitely did. So when I first started my show and was doing red carpets, I didn't have a camera, so I always used my school equipment, or I always borrowed things from people. But I invested in a camera. Well, my family helped me, but I invested into a camera. I bought my tripod, I bought my mic, and I bought my audio recorder. I bought all those things. So and just know that it's an investment when it comes to interviewing people. It is an investment, and you have to, if you really want it, you have to invest in your brand and invest in your career, because it takes a long time for you to really make profit off what you do. And just have to really strategize on how you can make profit. Like I said, there's pros and cons. You network, you get your network up, but you have to learn how to get that net worth up too as well. So that's where I'm at in the stage of my life right now. You know, I'm really picky about what I do. I do not go to every event, because some events aren't worth it. And a lot of publicists sometimes lie about who's going to be there. Or say for instance, there's a big event and the person that it's for doesn't want to do interviews, but with E!, MTV, VH1, and the Shade Room, they don't want to do you because you are not as big as those brands. You have to be able to take that. You know, you have to be able to take that insult, because sometimes it's insulting, because, you know, you're investing your time, and sometimes when you're not a bigger name, people kind of just think you're a nobody. You know, I remember one time I covered this event and this publicist called me a media girl. Like, she was just very rude about it. Oh, she's just a media girl. Like, no, I'm Bianca B. We just had a conversation. The publicist of the event invited me. So sometimes you have to know that when you're not a big media outlet, some people can be very insulting. So that's a con of of hosting, especially when you're your own brand. But the good part of being your own brand and your own boss and having your own media outlet is that you have creative control to ask any question that you want to ask. So I remember one time, I've only worked with 2 companies where I was working for them, and I personally didn't like it because they wanted me to ask questions that I was not comfortable with asking, because I'm not a gossipy host. I choose not to go that route with hosting. I like to keep it very professional, and you know, since our generation is filled with gossip, there's many strategies on how you can, you know, ask gossipy questions. However, you want to build relationships with the people that you're interviewing so they're comfortable with being around you, and you end up seeing the same celebrities at every event, so you want to build that relationship. So a lot of times when I interview the same people, they remember me, they're cool, they'll come to me with an interview. So it's all about building relationships. And one thing I can say, like being my own boss and being my own brand, I am able to have creative control. I don't have to answer to anyone. So just make sure that it depends on which route you want to go. Some people want to work for other brands just because they can get on those red carpets, but I'd rather work hard, continue on what I'm doing because it has helped me this far, and I've interviewed the people just off my name. So imagine what I could do in the next 2 years, the next 3 years. You know, it may be a little slower, but I will get there. And I'd rather say that I got there on my own than having a boss and someone telling me what to ask these celebrities. So it's really up to you. You know, it's whatever you want to do and the work that you put into it, and it's all about networking. And there's a lot of pros and cons to the hosting lifestyle. It's not just about being on the red carpet and taking a picture with a celebrity. It's all about the content, you know, how you're doing it, the structure of how you write up a post. It's all about structuring and making sure that you're doing it the right way and you're still being professional and dedicated to your brand. So guys, this is your girl Bianca B, and I hope I went all over the place, but I just tried to I kept it real as much as I can. And so it's your girl Bianca B. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram and Twitter at @SBiancaB. If you want any advice, please comment below and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So last but not least, guys, plot, plan, and slay. Bye guys.